Jill Streeter. I'm a partner here at Azets in the Newcastle office. I'm here to welcome our client from the Caribe Coffee company, Wilmer Carcamo. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today,
Hello,
Will.
Jill.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Excited to be here, though.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear all about it. I mean, I know you've got a great business, where you're accountants and business advisors. Please, can you tell us a bit more about where the business started?
So Caribe Coffee started in 2018. So it always started with a passion of bringing in a new perception of coffee, into the UK. I was born and raised in a coffee farm, and my grandmother was involved in that. And then eventually we understood that side of the coffee industry. But I never thought I would get into working with coffee the way my grandmother did, because sometimes it's not lucrative enough for a farmer. And that side was what make me decide to say, we have great coffee in Honduras. Honduras is the 6th largest exporter of coffee in the world, and the 3rd one in Central America. So in 2018, I took the decision when I moved to the UK and say, let's start this journey of importing coffee into the UK.
A bold move.
Very bold, trust me.
And how was that perceived? And what was, how did you get that off the ground? What were the first steps?
Well, every business, we call every small business, but every business is hard to do the first step. So for us, it was a little bit probably more difficult than normal, or what people think. We moved from the Caribbean due to health issues from my older son. So we invested, we spent a lot of the money. He has a rare genetic condition, which is only around 300 people in the world. So at that point was only 75 people that we knew. So it was a lot of expenditure on his health. So we were starting at ground zero almost from being established financially. We decided to, my last 10,000 pounds that I had in the bank is like, let me start this new journey. So technically we started at 5, but we decided to put everything to this. I always been driven by doing better in life. So I found a loophole in the market. I think UK at that point needed something different in coffee. Now it's I think it's trendy. So everybody want to sell coffee, everybody want to do it. And a lot of people are open and closing because they don't know how easy or hard it is. For me, I knew one side of the story, so I was learning the other side of the coin, and I put all my time, effort into starting this company. So
you kind of touched on there that you think that there was a bit of a loophole in the UK, and that that coffee is now becoming more and more trendy. So when you drive around more and more, there's more coffee bars, there's more juice bars. The generational thing, the Gen Zs love a good cup of coffee. They don't mind spending their money on it. Yeah. What is your typical customer at the moment? Are you business to business? Are you to consumers or?
So, 2025. So at a time, we are growing a wholesale section. So from the beginning, we had a strategy of tackle the wholesale side because we have really good connection. But we pivoted to get into retail. That's what brought us into where we are at the moment. But we are, at the moment, I think we are 30% wholesaling, say 70% retail.
Oh, wow.
And the wholesale is growing. Eventually, a lot of more partners are jumping on board, understanding how we can help and support. But for the first 5 years, we were 90% retail. We're trying to push that retail side, that customer side. A typical customer range from a teenager who like you say, who is into very sustainable farm practices, organic practices, more for the health benefits as well. Because coffee is a big world. It's like whiskey, like wine, like any other product that has been farmed. Can be well farmed or can be really wrong farming, I would say, with a lot of chemicals and stuff. So the younger generation appreciate that. The older generation need it because everybody wants coffee or like coffee, but if you drink coffee that has been produced with chemicals, for example, and you are in 40s like me, you get reactions in your stomach, or you get reactions in your skin. So we have customers who and then we have this type of customer who love those because they don't get the reactions. They don't get acidity in the stomach, they don't get the heartburns, they don't get skin problems. because they know they can trust us that we do our job right. So it varies, and we probably would like to tackle, all of them. So we don't know.
Cover all of it.
Yeah.
And how was the business, if it was, impacted by the pandemic?
It was impacted in a positive way.
That's interesting.
I think a lot of people, a lot of businesses struggle, and a lot of them didn't close. So when we started, I started with a small table in the local market with a snow to my knee, giving free samples. That's
Which local market?
In Moped. That was my first market, and did that market for almost a year. In 2019, February 2019, I remember. So with a free sampling, with a free sampling action, we retain and build our own customer base in local markets. So we managed to do like 32 markets a month. We hire someone to double markets per day or something. And that was, that was how we grow that clientele base. Yeah. And decided to, we know that this kind of work, this is this route that we wanna do. So that was the beginning of giving free sample in the local market. And
it's just so popular, isn't it, these days? You've got Tynemouth Market, the Quayside Market, such trendy places to be with a good coffee, and people love nothing better than to walk along with a good cup of coffee in their hand and just take it all in. So it's and
also connecting to customers though. Like the thing is, like that was the point. Like we went to markets to connect to customers, to know about coffee, what is different, and then we knew that they'll always return. We give a free sample. This is a very Americanized kind of strategy, but it's like I trust my product enough, like get a free coffee, go, and then 5 minutes customer were coming back. And then that's how we start building. So the pandemic hit, and then actually the customers, we build a website, and nobody wants to buy shopping on the website, because a website technically is hidden, like a corner shop, right? If you know advertiser, know it's there. So for us was like, we have the website, why you not go to the website? They always like, we see you in the market next week. I was like, no. So when the pandemic hit, sorry to reply to your last question, actually force all our customers to go to our website. And then we start seeing a slightly growth.
Right, okay. And you touched on previously just about the sustainability element of it. And so what do you do, what does Caribe do differently to then, like another competitor? What sets you apart?
So we're trying to, promote something called more like direct trade. But even like that, a lot of people say they direct trade, but none of them have even traveled to the country of the coffee come from. Because they're trying to go wide, I'm trying to go deep.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm import from, we're specialties importers of coffee from Honduras. We have the third largest export in Latin America. We compete with Brazil and Colombia. And the other reason why we cannot over-compete with them, because we are 75 times smaller than those countries. So we will never get that amount of production to compete technically. But, the sustainable side has become just a tick boxes most of the time. And a lot of them, they do it right because they have funding to promote it. We're trying to actually touch what we live what we preach. We go to the farmers, we spend time with them, we support them with what we want. We know the sustainable is not just like a nice packaging, right? Compostable packaging. It's about how the farmers live, how they treat their own land. Are they using chemicals in the back garden where the kids play? How it's packaging, how it's treated, not just for the farmers, but for the end consumer. So for a lot of people, they just read a booklet and say, my farmer's doing this, but they have never even met the person. And I always criticize them, because my grandmother was a coffee farmer. She was abused by a lot of buyers to the point that she sold her product at loss because it was what it was. Was sell it at a loss or throw it away. And my point is telling the story. So for me, the sustainable side is not just the packaging. It's about telling the story. Make sure it's done right. Make sure the farmers are treated right. Make sure my customers are treated right. It's a whole footprint, line to do it. And not many people like to do the work. I'm happy.
That's so important though, isn't it? That you've got all of that, and if it is that people are getting a fair price and they're being looked after, and your product as a consequence is slightly more expensive, people will pay that premium for that sustainability, because that is, it's what's important in the world right now, isn't it? That's really good.
We should not leave as many footprints while we're walking as before. Like your packaging, for example, is compostable, 100% compostable, potentially 5 times or 8 times more expensive than any of the competitors, but disintegrate in 3 months in the industrial compost.
Right.
Disintegrate in a year in any environmental, home compost type. Go to the supermarket and see which one is even recyclable, right? But we pay a lot more for this. But why? Because, we build that. We're responsible, where our brand will be. But also we want to make it easy for you as a customer. So you can put that in your compost. You can send it to recycle, and it will disintegrate because it's made from a plant-based material. So it will completely go disintegrated.
So clever. So obviously, the business is going from strength to strength, and would there be any particular barriers that you've faced in your journey so far into achieving what you've wanted?
A lot of barriers.
Where do I start?
Which business doesn't face barriers? Even the big ones now, at some point they were facing barriers. I would say it's not that you fail, it's how many times you're willing to stand up and keep fighting. But any business, the first one with financial barriers, market, because financial always will help you to market the property, to invest in the right thing, to invest in the right people. Sometimes you have someone who you want to work with, but you can afford them, because skills need to be paid. So that's one, finding the right people with the right skills. And the as a young company, we face with simple barriers like, limited labor, for example. We are a small team at the moment, and we're growing, but, we potentially will be hiring 5 or 6 people in the next month to support what we're doing. But to finding the right people that will work with the right ethic, with the right thing, simple stuff like that. You have backlash and then you start all over again. People still tell me why you're still doing things. It's like, because simple, I love what I do. I like talking to people. I like what we're doing as a company. I'm very proud of how we represent the farmers. So for me, it's like you will see me probably tomorrow in Quayside Market, if beside one of the guys or in the Metro Center talking to the customers. Do I need? I could avoid it. I could be just, have a title, fancy title, and just sit down in my home. But I really love what I'm doing.
Now, you just touched on there about the Quayside Market and the Metro Centre. So for the purposes of, those who weren't in the room pre-filming, it's a pretty exciting time for the Caribe Coffee Company now, isn't it? So tell us what's happening.
So we have a lot of excitement happening in the business. We already spoke about, the difficulty of that, but the excitement bit is we're planning to expand into physical locations. And we're looking into have like a macro cafes, and we're excited because we launched a few of those ones around the Northeast. The first one I think will be Sunderland train station, and hopefully we'll get one in the Metro Center, Gateshead, which is an iconic location for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one in Newcastle. So the strategy that's having a physical location to discuss with people, test, make them, get sample, and they can try why we're so different. So hopefully this will be few of the many that we will have around the UK, because the strategy of the business is having small locations where we can, with fast footfall, to people to grow, and that will support hopefully the online grow as well. And then also we're looking to partner, overseas. We just acquired a large partner, and overseas will be a regular customer, and that's part of the important growth for the business.
Obviously, the name, the Caribe Coffee Company, is where does that originate from? So
people think that we overthought the process of the name, but Caribe Coffee. So I met my wife in the Caribbean, and so we have a life in there, and it's a big part of almost our life because it's a big part for her as well. So Caribe is the word Caribbean in Spanish, And then it's almost to connect to my root, because we have it was an elimination process. So we have we represent Honduras, so we're trying to represent Honduras as a coffee producer.
Yeah.
But we cannot use a lot of the Honduran name already used in our country, in my country. So it's, all that was discarded. So right away, we thought about Caribbean Coffee Company, but it's too long. Caribe Coffee Company sounds more phonetic and keeps a little bit of my roots in the name. So Caribe.
Yeah.
So we pronounce as in Spanish, not Caribe, we pronounce Caribe.
Caribe, yeah.
As a Spanish. And I don't know, we fall in love with the name. It was one of those things that you built, and I think meant to be, I don't know.
It's lovely. Yeah, it's a great name.
Thank you.
Can you just confirm how important it is to have a trusted business advisor?
Having a trusted advisor from the beginning is key in any business. And I always, when I give a talk or when I give consultancy service, I always tell people, like, find the right partners from the beginnings, because that will save you so much time, effort, and money.
Yeah.
For example, working with Azets from the beginning for us has been, game changing. You guys helping us to understand, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, because we do a lot of stuff wrong, and it's not just helpful, but it's so important to have you guys and have the team in Azets, looking into the things that sometimes we don't overlook, or sometimes we cannot look because we're too busy with customers and stuff. So, on the first thing I say, you need to find the right people from the beginning. And the first thing, they always having a business is technically simple. You can register a business in a company house, but having the partners to support that journey from the beginning. And when I tell people you will open a business, the first thing I say, I have the right accountants for you, but that's why you need to find the right accountants from the beginning. I made a lot of mistakes myself initially. I didn't know the system. And you guys probably, the team will tell you, I made a lot of mistakes in the first 2 years, because eventually I didn't know how was the process in the UK. But I have learned it the hard way, and now it's almost my pitch to anybody who asks me to. It's like, you find the right partners, find the right people who will work with you, help you to grow, and stick with them. And something I found particular with you guys is, like, you have been, first of all from the beginning, but in my ups and downs. And hopefully will be more ups at some point than downs. But you have been correcting us, helping us, discussing things, how we can improve. And those are the type of things that are, like, it's a peace of mind, first of all, for me, but also it's a peace of mind for the business, because we can see and what we're doing right or wrong, and then how we can improve.
Absolutely.
So technically, it's having the right partners and the right advisors from the beginning is
sound advice. Sound advice. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I have to say, that smells absolutely amazing, and I'd very much like to go and have a cup of coffee.
Thank you so much.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Okay then.
Yeah.